Hi. So sorry about the network issue. Um, Hi everyone. Sorry about that. Okay. Hi. Good evening. Sorry we were cut off. I don't know. Network's totally beyond me. We're getting right into the conversation and then the network did its thing. So I apologize for that on my hand. My sincere apologies for that. Network took the piece. It's beyond me. I'm going to invite Dr. Stephen again. Uh, yeah, bro, don't see the network took the piece. My apologies, everyone. We're back now. We're live again. Um, yes, I've sent an invitation to Dr. Stephen. Thank you for your patience. I see you, Governor Sheener, my people, Data Oxygen. Thank you, everyone. Waiting for, yes, it was speaking sense, don't he? Please let him know that we're back on. This network just did abracadabra. Totally beyond me. Um, Tried sending him an invitation. Okay, sent an invitation to Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Okay, I am so sorry.
No
One of
problem.
the
I hope
issues,
you
one of the
saved the
issues in the
other.
world. Yeah,
I hope
I
you
hope that I
saved the
did.
other.
Yeah, I think I posted directly on my page. It should drop, hopefully. I just shared
I hope.
directly. Yes, I hope so. Yeah, because I'm like, what happened? What happened? The world coming to an end. Because I'm like, what? My sincere apologies for that. I apologize. One
No.
of those things you have no control over. Yes, you were getting right into, the conversation about the things that you did as a student and how you were able to build Grand Up. And we're also talking about if you were to advise the president, you mentioned making funds accessible to the bank and, giving people the opportunity to get those funds, basically. So please kindly continue with that on what you would do if you were the special advisor to the president on investment and real estate.
Yeah. So basically, I mean that's the core that is needed. Working with CBN and the commercial banks
Mhm,
to be able to lend money to home buyers, land buyers, and I was saying that even agriculture,
mhm,
agriculture and real estate are the key driver of the economy because of their ability to create jobs and provide employment. And
mhm,
I was sharing how the power of why agriculture is failing in Nigeria. The infrastructures have not been built. So again, is when you release money into the real estate sector, that's the infrastructure to make agriculture sustainable can be realized. Because now, once you release, it means I can buy a 10-hectare land, do the road, provide all the
mhm,
electricity, water, everything,
mhm,
and move my goods across just simply because I was able to access funds from the
mhm,
bank. But if I'm not able to
mhm.
access funds from the bank, there's no way I can do all of
Absolutely. Absolutely.
that. Key things that you are able to do. Of course, there are other policies that could help the real estate sector develop. investment develop. For example, security is a key one. And I tell people security is a function of unemployment. As long as I can make more money, shooting, killing people and stealing money than, legitimately getting a job, then that's what people will go into. And when you have majority of your population young, hungry, and they are not able to get jobs, something is wrong with that model. But when you can open up the real estate sector, and of course, that way also opening up the agricultural sector, you will create jobs. Insecurity will reduce. More people will come into the country, and things will get better.
Yeah, thank you so much. And there was something you touched on that I really want to talk about is the scam in the investment sector. We've seen a lot of people, get scammed in the past few years of their hard-earned money. And as a coach, an investment coach, what are the right questions to ask before investing? What should we look out for? What are the red flags that would help us know that, an investment plan is a scam?
Okay, good question. I think the first thing to do is actually work on your own greed. You cannot be scammed if you're not greedy, right? It's practically impossible to be scammed without some form of greed in it. Usually people fall into scam because they want it cheaper. They want it, I remember a gentleman saying to me, one of our properties in Ijewere, and he got an opportunity to buy for 20 million. And he had not even finished paying, just deposited 5 million. And then sent me a flyer of another company promising him the same land in the same location with the same governor's consent for 3.5 million. And literally calling me that I'm trying to swindle him, you see, taking advantage of it. If I went to start posting on all social media, that he wants his money back, he has seen something better. Of course, later the story has gone viral. That land didn't have governor's consent to start with. It didn't have any government document. They only put in a file that they are trying to get their decision. Okay, so such a person now will come on social media the same way he went on social media even about me, that I was charging more than the regular price, right? And say they scammed him. And you too will believe people. And that's why today when people come on social media, I was scammed. I just let them know that, look, you cannot be scammed without some greed being involved. So let us hear what, right? Because there are some credible people, credible organizations you could have done business with. They will have been more expensive, but you would not, at least there is something real, existing there. And so first thing is greed. If you want to go into investment, work on your greed level. Same thing with Forex. People lose money when they trade Forex. Is that you end up betting on a particular currency, either going higher or going lower. At the end of the day, it goes the other way around. And you didn't put stop loss, right? Stop loss is what a program you put in when trading that says that if I go below an amount, right, just stop the entire, transaction. People will not do that just out of greed while they are trading. Then they lose all the money. And sometimes people are putting investors' money as well. And everything turns to story. So first thing, you want to be an investor, overcome your own personal greed, right? Of wanting to reap where you did not sow, of wanting to get it cheap, of wanting people to give you, you see, wealth is always a function of value in exchange for cash. Be willing to exchange value in exchange. It has to be win, 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 win. So once that is resolved, then you're on the right path, right, to be able to do the right things. That's number one. Number two, you do your research yourself. do your, and this is very important. For example, I've seen people want to buy property. They call their cousin back at home. That cousin told you, uncle, send me $500. You told that your cousin, America is not easy like you people think. Oh, I don't have money. Suddenly you call the same brother that you're about to buy a property of $100,000 and I should go and inspect it for you. And you expect him not to see you as a wicked person. So, right? And to be faithful in that assignment. So what then happened is that he will go to where you asked him to go and say, Uncle, they want to swindle you, my uncle. I know the king of that particular area, the king. And he has told me that you will get for 50% what they are trying to collect from you. You know why he mentioned that? First of all, he has had a deal with that so-called king to get something in that transaction. This other one, because you had already, linked directly, you can't get. People tell us, with relative has sent somebody to our office before, to go and check a land, and the man told us that I will tell my uncle not to buy your property, except you give me 10% commission. Right? I'm not kidding you. So if you say no, they'll go back and tell the person, uncle, they want to swindle you. Now he will get you somebody else. And Monile, they will sell the same land to 4 people. He then becomes the most powerful person who will eventually be the one to own it. So truly, he will, he will reach out to the Bale or whoever. They will get you the so-called land. But actually, it's a land they've already sold to 2 other or 3 other people. They happened even to my own dad in Abeokuta, in his own country. Right? They still scam my dad on land in his own town. So these are the realities. So what you want to do is look for credible organizations that have built reputations and they don't want to mess up the reputation, number one. Number two, there was a particular company, for example, that they called out on social media. Did they not start doing allocation now? In fact, they had to do the allocation and show everybody. But you see, that's the advantage of dealing with a company, right? Because if push come to push, they can be traced. But you deal with an individual, Luku. Who is Luku? Who knows Luku? Luku can literally disappear to one village. Exactly. He can disappear to one village and nobody will see him again. And all your investment gone, drained. No, all of it gone. So it's wisdom on your part to say, I want to do a company. Secondly, why should you do with a credible company? You can take a company to court, right? And the courts can hold the company contempt by seizing their assets if they refuse to, to do what was required, right? You can take them to court. Now, you can't take an individual to court like that. First of all, in the Nigerian context, you take an individual, let's even say you're able to get it. You take him to the police station, right? His family member will come and beg to get his bail. They can immediately send him to Ghana. That's it. That's the end of the case. He will not come to court. They will complain in court. Even if they pick his shorty, the shorty will come for a while. The shorty is still not him. Your money gone down the drain. Right? But if it's a registered company, right? A credible company, even if they refuse to give you your money, the court can then, declare that the asset be sold, right, just to pay you back. So it's a lot better, right, to deal with a registered, credible organization. So stop doing this. It is you I know. It is Dr. Stephen I know. I'm buying from Dr. Stephen. Okay? Dr. Stephen is in Dallas now. Can you catch him? But you can buy from GTEX Homes. GTEX Home has office in Banana. They have office in Ibadan. They have in Abeokuta. They have in Abuja. They have in Asaba. They have in Port Harcourt. You can go and into the office and start saying, right? There's something fiscal to hold. Okay? Not just that it's one man. And these are mistakes we made in Africa. Even when it comes to trying to get I've had people who had swindled me that I didn't put on social media, but I took them to court. right? And I dealt with them without creating any noise. So a lot of times, some of us even put ourselves into more trouble with social media. Because you come and start shouting on social media, right? What you don't know is that usually, in many cases, all this, the civil crime. So when I do business with you, you do business with me, all of it is usually civil. In many cases, there are things that then lead you to criminal. But but there are certain dimension of libel, of character assassination that could be criminal in nature. So you can leave one, you can have a case that the grip you have on that person is lesser in court. And that's why you see some cases, they will not say, they bribe people. It wasn't that they bribed anybody. You just didn't even understand the law of where you are standing. That there are ways you can fight such an individual and still get what you want, but there's a dimension of blackmail that you go around it, that you turn the whole thing to a criminal offense, and you can go to jail for that case. And meanwhile, it was your money that
on top your money.
on top of your money, on top of your own money. So
I mean, this factor you just said is like important, very important.
Yes.
I think that people need to understand that the court of social media is not the real court, and it's not just about the real estate. It's cut across. Yeah. When you have issues with people, those don't come on social media. Have you gone to the court? Have you done the right thing? Because sometimes you give that person more power if they know the law, like you said. Information of character. Okay.
Exactly. If they are powerful and they have resources to deal with you, and they will do it. They will do it too. And social media, a lot of time we over empower social media. People will talk about it for 1 week or 1 month. After that, it's gone. It's you and your family that will be suffering the consequences.
You might even end up going to beg the person that's swindled you.
I'm telling you.
Thank you very much. So I want to ask you, based on everything you shared today, how were you able to build GTEx Holdings from the ground up? You are visible in over 4 countries right now. I know there is Florida, you are visible in Dubai, you are in US and Nigeria. How were you able to build, such a big organization that is very respectable?
Thank you very much. Well, I think it's a lot of things. It's not just one thing. Number one is integrity. A lot of people don't know how much it cost me to build the integrity of our companies. Cost a lot, a whole lot. And it took years. We are 14 years now. We've done countless of reforms. I've done reforms in excess of 100 million. This one wants his money back. That one wants just out of trying to keep your name and making sure you have a good brand. Just take your money back. Let's hear what. So having integrity has played a critical role. Number 2 has been transparency. At some point when I realized people, wanted to be doing blackmail, I just started announcing, any business you do with me, I don't do refunds, right? If you like, go anywhere and go and blackmail me. I say it, and I don't have shame about it. I've said to the whole world, I don't do refund. I don't do refund. So you can't come later and say, I did business. Think it well before you do business with my company. Read the tiny lines. There are always instructions. There are always policies. There are refund clause, right? Read it well. Ignorance is not an excuse in the court of law. I remember one time I traveled to the UK, and this was when Nigerian ATM stopped working. And I bought a ticket. I got there 45 minutes to the flight. The lady said my luggage was too big. So while I was trying to remove some, by the time we put it, said, she cannot check me in again. It's automated. I mean, my brain sparked. The Nigerian me, came out, you can, like, then I even asked, Where is the next flight? I said, it's a non-refundable ticket. I said, eh? I think it was Heathrow Airport. Where I didn't know I was shouting. Do you know they called security? When I noticed this is not Nigeria, where you can just now you buy ticket £500. It is still you. They will come and carry. That's it. So if I had to run away from the lady, I disappeared. They come and carry.
I can imagine.
You know,
I can imagine.
But it taught me a big lesson about this issue of refundable tickets and non-refundable and all those, because in Nigeria, it's just some of us, I think, whether we like it or not, even the chaos of Nigeria still favors everybody. You know, because there are some madness you just exhibit that sometimes favors you because everybody just wants you to shout. And then in places that are well organized, you can't do those things. You can't do that. So I have learned to be transparent. You know, this is the terms. If you are buying real estate from our company, for example, and you decide to say you are not doing again, 30% administrative fees will be removed because we have over 300 staff we pay salary to. It was from the money you paid us we used to pay their salary. Right? There is commission we give anybody who bring deals to us. About 50% of our income goes into that. That somebody referred you gets directly 10%. Those who refer you to will get some things. Right? So when you understand the dynamics of how companies are structured, you will not just think, I remember somebody bought a coaching program from me here in the US, you know, one time like that. And he had to, you know, later say he wasn't doing it again. And he called the police. You know, I was even happy because I knew he didn't know this is America. If it's Nigeria, I would have been bothered. But in the US, customer is protected. Entrepreneurs and businesses are also very well protected. So when they call the police, the man asked him, said, so do you have an agreement where he signed that he was going to refund you? He said, no. He said, but you know, first of all, I don't have jurisdiction here. That's what the police told him. So first of all, you know I don't have. Because it's if you have signed that he will refund you and he did not refund, that's when you can say, okay, he breached the contract. Now I can come in as the police officer. You know, so he said, so first of all, because they were on the side, but I was overhearing them. So he said, first of all, you know, I don't have jurisdiction. Maybe you can take him to civil court and argue it out, but I don't even have power. He said, but what did he even say? He said, the man said, he will reform me, but we will remove administrative. He said, but so let's go and meet him. So do you know the funny thing? I didn't even say I would refund, I would remove anything. I just said we have a 90 days refund policy. If you say you want refund, but go ahead and fill the refund form, sign it, and send it back. He said no. So when the police officer now came, he said, so I heard this. He said, so how much are you deducting? It was the police officer that said that. So remember, I didn't even say I was deducting anything. So the police officer said, how much are you deducting? Because it's normal. They understand here that a business needs to run. There are salaries, there are bills, you can come in. You know, they understand that a business needs to be run. There are policies, there are cost implications. Do you know, at the end of that, I said, well, I'll remove 50%. The policeman said, that's all right, that's fine, that's fine. 50%, so does he need to do a mail? That was the end of the case. But my point is that this is why businesses don't grow in Africa. Because what we do is we blackmail people and we bully businesses till they fail. Right? And by the time you go and use power, arrest the person, lock him up, his family member will come and say, business, you know, hey, go and get a job, and that's how businesses are dying. Now, what has that led to? It has led to over 40 million Nigerians not having a job. It's a mutual chaos we created. Mutual chaos, right? Because we don't protect businesses. Right? So for me, transparency has helped. Number 3 is teamwork. Amazing people that work at GTEx, faithful, dedicated. I mean, I would take good care of them as well. right? There's a number of sales you make. You qualify for all expense paid trip to anywhere in the world. You know, where
Wow.
some are even coming to Dubai in July. You know, to have a wonderful time. Last year, some of them got 2 vacations, Dubai and Maldives. You know, I mean, we make sure that, I mean, there are people whose salary is 250K in GTEx, but what they earn every month, aside salary, is in excess of 500,000. In fact, there was one that, you know, I was going to Ibadan, so they had to give me his check to drop for him. I opened the thing, it was in excess of 2 million for, you know, a staff. You know, so we make sure we have a good team, we take good care of them, and so there's that sense of ownership. They own the company, they run it, and that's why I'm relaxed. I can travel anywhere in the world. There are people running the business.
That's good. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. And, you know, I also want to ask you on this ROI thing. We hear a lot of it. Invest 100,000, you get 60%, and all of that. What's your thoughts on it? Because I've really wanted to ask somebody how these things work. You know, when you invest 100,000 and they're telling you get 60% every month, how is it even sustainable?
It's Ponzi scheme. You know, earlier I had said it that you cannot be scammed if you are not greedy. So the first thing you want to look out for is you're working on your own greed. That's why today, like I said, when people just go on social media and say I was scammed, I don't even listen to them, right? Because I know that you have exercised greed and you now you want this public sympathy. How can any business promise you 60? Some will even promise you every month return on investment. They are Ponzi scheme. Because first of all, how do you recognize Ponzi scheme? Number one, when they promise you monthly returns. Why do I say that? Every business has, you know, ups and downs. So there is no way a company guarantee you a monthly return. It's risky, except if they are saying that they are, you know, in the real estate sector, they can do that for you, and this is how they can do it for you. This is how they can do it for you in the real estate sector. They can say, bring your money, we'll buy a house here in Dallas, right? And every month the tenants are paying, let's say 60% of the money tenants is paying goes to you. And then they will be transparent with all that data. Okay, but in that case, there's no guaranteed amount you get. I don't know that you understand. So, but all this guaranteed amount, okay, that you are getting this amount guaranteed, is Ponzi scheme. Okay, so how many can you have such investment? And even the one I just mentioned to you, they buy a house and then you are sharing the rent. There are months where they will tell you categorically that there was nothing to share, because maybe cost of maintaining the house and they didn't have enough occupancy had led to one issue or the other, and there was not enough money to go around. So there are issues like that. So people need to face the reality of the fact that if you are serious about building wealth, if you're serious about wealth creation, right, and you are serious about it, you need to understand, you know, financial intelligence. So your first work should be to have a financial mentor like me, Stephen Akintayo. And I would love to mentor you, just that I'm not cheap. I charge, and I'm expensive. It's $20,000 for 6 months, one-on-one mentorship. But I have other ones that are cheaper. Yes.
That's all. What about people like us that has not, we've not hammer like this now? Where do you want to, where do we get 50,000?
Well, what we've done is that we have a general mentorship program where for $7 every month, right? You are there, but it's not one-on-one. Okay, we also have a group one too. That the group one is about $5,000, so you're a group of 10 to 30 people, and I come in to mentor you. But the one-on-one means it's just me and you alone, right? Like this interview on a normal day, I charge as well, you know, for this. Again, I didn't get here by luck. I paid. The event I am doing here in Dallas, Cardone is charging me $200,000 to bring him. So I didn't get here also by I didn't get things for free. I paid. In fact, the entire tour, because we were doing London, Dubai, and Nigeria with Grant Cardone, because of his private jet, I'm paying $1.6 million for that 4-continent tour. $1.6 million, one man alone collecting from me. Right? So my own mentors too, they charge me very well. And that's why I now have
you are capable.
No. I started from when I was 0. You see why many of us are not able to charge well for the value. It's just like you. The day you start paying more, right, to your mentor, is the day you start charging more. Yeah. Because when the reason why I'm paying grants is because I know that by the time we're done with that talk, my level has changed. The kind of money I will start charging will change. And I will attract those who can afford to pay it. Because people who can't pay grants, right, who are Africans, we say, you know what, we may not be able to afford grants, but we can afford a Stephen Akintayo, who can afford it. I'm talking about people who already have businesses worth, millions of dollars. They're going to come. Right? They're going to come. So you will make the money back. The problem is the same thing we do in business. A lot of us run business. We don't put in money into the business and we expect the business to grow. Right? I'm here now launching my first estate. Land alone is $10 million. To put building on it, we did over $100 million in our Dallas property here.
Yeah, I saw the video.
So you can't. There's nothing of value that's cheap. It will come with a cost.
True.
Right? It's just for you to say, how do I monetize it? It's not just that I'm going to be paying Grant Cardone X amount. How do I make sure, okay, we're going to charge people to attend the event. We're going to have a program we will sell after the event. You understand that, we are going to charge for, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So there has to be a monetization strategy around the whole thing. Okay. But that you will not pay, then you are not interested to move to the next level.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. And for those who want to attend the festival, how much is a ticket? I know the one online is about $47. But how much for those who want to attend in person? How much is the ticket?
No, it's not $47. So it has changed. We told them to buy on time. They didn't buy. So the online ticket is now $400. Yes. It's now $400. So believe it, my sister. It's now $400. You see, the rule is people needed to have, and you should learn this. Right, take advantage of things on time. Don't wait till the last time. We do the last minutes in Africa a lot. But what we can do is there's a discount code. I think you should have it. Maybe Don T has his own. They can use Don T's code. So it can reduce from $400 to $197 instead of $400 for the virtual attendance. And then for the physical attendance, instead of $1,000, they can pay just $300 to come listen to myself, Grant Cardone, and several other great people share how we made it and how you too can build your wealth. You see, this subject of wealth is not hard. Success leaves clue. You just need to follow the blueprint of those who have gone ahead of you. Success leaves clue. There's nothing difficult about being successful. You can always do it yourself, but follow the process. Follow those who have gone ahead. For me, somebody says, so why are you paying Grant Cardone such an amount of money? The answer is very simple, nothing complex. So the answer is simple. I'm paying Grant Cardone simply because I have realized that I will lose a lot more to come and invest at this level in US, and I don't have a real estate mentor. I will lose more. So I'm better off paying my $1.6 million Judge Cardone. I have his backing. I have his support as I expand my real estate empire in the US. I have his partnership. Okay, rather than come to the US and start blowing tens of millions and hundreds of millions without any form of mentorship. That's foolishness. That's foolishness.
That's true.
Yeah.
I agree. Thank you so much. You've said so much. Lastly, because I know that you're very busy, I want to thank you once again, and I want to thank Don T and Niger Times for making this possible. What financial tip can you provide to low income earners? You mentioned big money, and we understand, but then there are also people who are just at the level you were 20 years ago who are also live on this program. Just so we have a balanced view of everything, what financial tip can you give to those people who they aspire to be like you one day and be mentioning $1 million?
Number one, stop expecting anything. Stop. Because the money you seek, right? The money you seek will only come, right? Will only come when you yourself begin to monetize the value you are receiving. So I'll give you an example. I've seen what you do. For example, I've seen what you do, how you do conferences, you do meetings, you're empowering people. You've done a lot, and the Esther Ijewere brand is amazing, right? But you see, this same thing you're doing, right, can attract more money. But the only way to attract more money is to look for who is doing it and is making over $1 million from it. And then saying, which of your program can I plug in at my level? And every one of us, we have, even at my level, I have 3 programs. It's on my YouTube. I have over 2,000 videos, training videos on YouTube for free. Everybody has. Then I have the one I told you, for $47, you can go to my university every month. $47, you will learn from Robert Kiyosaki, you learn from John Maxwell, you learn from Brian Tracy, you learn from Les Brown, you learn from all these great people. You learn for just $47 every month. So it is when you now one-on-one. So we need to begin, and I think it's because of our culture. It's easy for you to access your daddy, your uncle. You don't need to pay. And we don't know that it's because we don't pay. That's why we don't become rich. You see, time is money. Time not monetized equals failure, equals poverty. Time given, not monetized, equals poverty. So when you want to start the journey of building wealth, the first thing is to say, I want to start monetizing my time. How do you do that? Is to say, I will stop using my time for gossip. About where is Esther from and who is her father. Rather, I will use my time to start discussing ideas. I will start listening to content that can develop my mind. That's the process of monetizing your time. Meaning, I'm not using my time to watch 4-hour home movie. Right? That is adding no value to me. Nigerians will tell you they cannot pay $1,000 to come and learn from somebody who has built his real estate assets to $8 billion in America, to show them how they can build the same. But the same people will go for, when the video comes, they will tell you they want VIP tickets. They will buy alcohol on top and blow money and say you have to jaye. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. Right? It's a mindset. Now, if the mindset has made you rich, I wouldn't have a problem with it. If you made you rich, because there's a place for it as well. When God has started blessing me to a level, when it was my birthday, I invited Ovation. They did their magazine, they did everything, but I have gotten to the level. But to start from day one, to start buying expensive designers, expensive this, expensive that, it is to allow poverty to design your life. So life is in phases, men are in sizes. So right now, at where you are, begin to listen. That's the first step. Begin to listen to the right content that will change your life. And YouTube, Dr. Akintayo, and several other great people's YouTube. Start consuming the content. Step 1. Step 2. Start looking for the most affordable ones you can start going for. Right? And don't expect miracle overnight, because you get disappointed when you think that because I have paid $50, then overnight, money will start raining down from heaven. No, it's my mind that needs to change first. All this investment, it will speak, but it's a matter of time. When I was in Osu, nobody knew me as such. And the reason was because I was gaining roots downwards to bear fruit upwards. You come to my room, you see books. I started building my library since I was in Osu. So you see me wearing faded clothes, yet the books you are seeing in my library are, 5,000, 10,000 per book, right? 2,000 naira then, 1,000 naira per book in my library as a student. And yet my clothes were faded. But I knew where I was going. I knew I will not be at the same. Those who were mocking me, who thought I was not fashionable. Today now, am I not fashionable? Okay? In fact, I have the money to buy the entire fashion companies. So it's a face thing. It's about faces. Just understand the face you are. At this phase, let me consume content. So you move from free, then you start paying little, right? And then number 3, practice what you're learning. Practice what you're learning. Practice it. E.g., today now you've heard me. Oh, I want to be part of Dr. Stephen's event. Yes. But aside that you will have paid $197, you can ask a question and say, is there no affiliate link where if I bring 10 people, I can get commission? If I bring 20 people, I can get commission. If I bring 100 people, that's how I became rich in the real estate sector. I didn't have money to buy land first. I started selling for others who have the land. And as I was selling, I wasn't eating with 2 fingers. I started getting richer. My money, I started putting it into owning my own land. The rest is history today. So you can easily build wealth if you understand how to say, hey, can I, participate beyond just being a consumer? So I will start by consuming. I want to consume right content. Before you know, I say, no, can I also be an affiliate? So before you know it, maybe I paid $197. If I bring 10 people, I've gotten my money back. If they are paying me 10%, right? If I bring 100 people, I've not just gotten my money back, I've gotten more than my money back. Gradually, you see how you start changing the narrative. Suddenly, because I'm now an affiliate as well, a lot of people will see me, will love what I do, will be excited about what I'm doing, will start respecting me, because now they are seeing me with Grant Cardone, they are seeing me with Dr. Stephen, they are seeing me promote what Dr. Stephen is doing. They probably even assume I know Dr. Stephen one-on-one and he's my buddy, and Grant Cardone, that's why I'm promoting them. You see how your brand, your image is beginning to change, right? So it's possible even from ground up to move to the next level. But you need to know that your attitude has to change. Your culture has to change. But 2 things must change. Number 1, you need to stop gossiping. I have met several billionaires in my life. I'm yet to see one that is a gossiper. You stop gossiping. It's no time to gossip. Number two, it is not all battles you must fight. Oh, Jesus. It's not. In fact, being seen as always fighting turns you to a nuisance. You will see people hailing you, but deep down, must you fight everybody? And some of us, we build that culture. And it's because of our background. We went through hell. It took years for me to learn this. It took years. Your biggest strength is silence in the midst of war. I have noticed that very well. Oh, I can fight you with silence. Right? I can fight you with silence. So there's a cultural change. Because let me give you an example. Let's assume I had a business with Esther and it went bad. And before you know it, let's even assume I felt Esther was the one that was at fault. I start putting on social media, Esther stole my money, Esther is a thief, Esther. Do you know anybody else in the category of Esther who was thinking of doing business with me? We start running away. It doesn't matter whether I was right or I was at fault. But we start saying, we have not heard Esther's side of the story. right? We are not sure if you are not even the one that are fault. So you know what? So today I have learned to fight my battles in silence, in secret. I don't need to make noise about it. I want to be seen as a guy that make deals, as a guy that cuts the check, as a guy that strike global deals. That's what I want to be seen as. Not as a guy that fights everybody. No. So
That's
when
the power
I
of
fight,
personal branding.
yeah, it's part of the branding we're talking about. Because many times when you start putting all this negativity out there, it brings you down more than you think.
Exactly. People don't even take the person serious. I mean, I must say something that when Don T, the publisher of Nigeria Times USA, who made this possible, told me that, you know, you had wanted to check my brand to see if you want to come on board. I told him, I said, that is the person that knows the power of personal branding. I said, yeah, let them do their audits. You know, because
yeah, and I told him, I
learned.
said she has a clean brand that I would like to feature on. You know, I don't want, you know, today fight, tomorrow fight, tomorrow. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't fight. There are certain battles you have to fight. You have to be a lion, a lioness to win in this game of business, right?
I mean,
but you don't want to present yourself when they say, do you know this person? Don't mind him, don't mind him. That do you know that person? That one. Okay, everybody you know, everybody, when we talk about them, they are bad. You call, right? So and people don't know how those things have limited their growth. As hampered on how far they can go. Yes, some of us grew up in a system where we had to fight for everything. Right? But a time comes where wisdom needs to come in. I say, you know what? I should learn to pick my battles. Let me say this. This is a powerful quote. Your life gets sweet the day you master the art of picking your battles. Yes. Oh boy. Yes. You cannot force me into a battle I don't want to fight. You can't. They don't want you well. If I choose not to fight you, you cannot put me. I don't care what. If you like, go on social media and talk from now till tomorrow. It's your business. I choose my battle. And when I choose to now fight, is that I'm sure I'll win. And I'm too sure that even if I didn't even get what I wanted from that war, I have my brand has been up. You know, that's the kind of battle me I fight, not you know, everybody's your enemy. So who would be your friend? Who would be your friend?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, Yoruba people say, and because if you want to grow in life, you cannot fight everybody. No one is an island. So thank you so much for sharing that tip with us. I mean, just on the final note, you know, if you were to advise a young man who wants to go into the investment sector, the real estate sector right now, okay, he has the money. What would you advise this young man or young woman to do? Oh, I have the money. I'm trying to figure out how to start.
Get a mentor. Get a mentor. ASAP. Go and get a business mentor. I don't care. It's not about money. You can't do this business. I mean, yesterday, is it the day before yesterday? I was with one of the guys I considered my business mentor here in the US when it comes to real estate. The guy went to Harvard to study real estate. He understands tax. He knows the governor of this state. He knows the inner workings. And I sat down with him and step by step was putting me through. Do this, don't do this. Do this, don't do this. Take this step, take that step. Right? I'll be naive to come and put $100 million in the US in our estates, right? Without having backup, without having people who have been in the game, who are holding my hand. It's just foolishness. And we do that all the time just because, oh, you know, the guy is too greedy. You are the one that is greedy. So the man said, will charge me money, teach me. Can't he do it for free? You are the one who want to reap where you did not sow. Why should they teach you for free? Why should somebody just leave everything they are doing and just come and start mentoring for free? Why? Are you not going to make money from the thing at the end of the day? It's a wrong mindset. So even the person here, I had to tell him, what's your retainer? To show me all of these tax processes here in the real estate sector, you know, and he was breaking that for me. He said, look, you can have a portfolio of $100 million and you stretch it to 2 billion. This is how you're going to do it. I said, check. So this is different from Nigeria business. But I would be foolish to think that because I did well in Africa, I did well in Dubai, I did well in London, oh, the same thing applies here in America. No, no. You have to come here again, get another set of people to say, show me how this thing works here. That's one of the biggest secrets of my success in business. Right? I stopped losing in business when I made up my mind. Any new terrain I'm going to, I pick somebody who has done it. I make sure it's worth their while. I don't want it free. Right? I want to pay. Right? And then we go through that process.
Thank you very much. Amazing. Thank you so much for your time. And I'd like to ask you, because you said something at the beginning about you having a spiritual mentor and you being called a pastor when you were, you know, Labisi Onabanjo University. Are you, I mean, is there still a place of spirituality in terms of your success? Do you still, you know, have that space where you...
Absolutely. I'm still an ordained pastor in my church. I just don't use that title because people blackmail you. Oh, he call himself a pastor. Don't do business with me because I'm a pastor, right? Do business with me because the business makes sense, right? So I don't use the title because I realize that people blackmail a lot in Africa. So forget, you know, my title. Do business with me because it makes sense. It's logical. Right? And you should do it. But yeah, you can't joke with spirituality. I tell people that everybody is using something. If you don't use something, they'll use it for something. Right? So you have to use something. Right? So
I've not heard that before.
Everybody is using something. If you don't use something, they'll use it for something. So oh boy, I'm using something. Yeah. Don't dare me. I am using something.
That's good.
So spiritually, before we got here, fasting is there, anointing is there, you know, Holy Ghost is there, blood of sprinkling is there. You touch me, you die by correction of God. We're using something.
That's good. That's very good. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Someone just said, are you talking about Juju Nigerians? Funny.
Jesus Juju.
Nothing.
We're using Jesus Juju. How do you think we're taking over the land? We're using something.
I'm not going to go to that one, no? Because these people...
We're using Jesus Juju. Everybody uses something. I mean, if you don't use something, they use it for something. So that one is true.
Exactly. We cannot separate. You know, one thing that I love that you've done today is the way you separated spirituality from reality. You know, with your success story. And I think that is one thing a lot of us need to do. Don't just say in Jesus' name. Back it up with hard work. What are you doing as well? When you say, Father, help me, how are you helping yourself? Because it's not going to come down and give you the opportunity. You need to go seek the opportunities. So thank you so much for that. When I have $50,000, I'll come back. I'll tell Don Tito.
No. Don't worry. We can work something out, you and I. Don't worry.
No problem.
I'll be glad. It will be an honor to work with you. Be a honor. I love what you do. I love your humility. I love your impact. God bless you and continue to increase you.
Thank you so much. Amen. Amen. Everyone, thank you for joining. Please don't just listen today. Be part of the Global Wealth Festival on the 16th. Is there a link on your bio, Doctor, where people can click to buy the ticket or, you know, to get more information about the program? I know Don T has his own bio.
Yeah, you can always go to globalwealthfestival.com. Okay. Yes, you can use the coupon code DONT. You
Okay.
can pin it with the coupon code. So once they use the coupon code on T, it will give them discount, and it
Yes.
promises to be a great event. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm also going to try and join. We're going to be there doing our bit to also support. And, I do not take this
Well,
opportunity for granted. Thank you so much. One thing that I've gained from you today is the power of manifestation. Sometimes the people we think we cannot reach, life always circle back. And that takes me back to the first thing you said, never look down on anyone, because the dice of life is always rolling. Always. It doesn't stop. It's always rolling. So thank you very much for your time today. God bless you and God bless your business. I hope that, after the program, I'm able to circle back and or maybe just get feedback from people on the internet, those who attended, to know what they learned from the program.
Please feel free to reach out to me. I would love, this is a relationship I would love to take to the next level from here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Don't see, Shay, you're hearing now. Come and collect his number from you.
He will give you my number for sure. He will. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for your time. And you too, sir. Have a good one.